Hello, everybody. It's Gary Stuckey with Journey News, continuing the topic of Arnels Voice. If you haven't already, go back and check out the video I did where Arnel says he's going to stop singing for Journey if he had 1 million people say go instead of stay, and that's what he said. He would do it, after the Rock and Rio performance. Wasn't very flattering. I understand the situation. You can't sing great every night, but I've had a lot of people say his voice is shot, is what they said. But the thing is, I've heard him singing like after he's been singing on tour for a while and singing a lot of songs uh, during the night, and his voice started getting rough. So when your voice is shot, it kind of you lose some of the notes, and you go kind of quiet and get kind of screechy. But what I heard on the video, the actual video, you can find it on YouTube. It sounded like he couldn't hear. He couldn't hit that note. He couldn't hit the top note because I don't think he could hear. Now, Neil Sean came back and said that the band that was headlining and in charge, I guess, of the sound equipment, Avenged Sevenfold, a heavy hard rock band, alternative, I guess you could say, they were in charge of the sound. They were headlining. And, Neil said Journey wasn't headlining because of politics. I don't know the whole story on that. But, of course, Neil said that the sound, issues there and sabotage. Now, I don't know, about all that. I wasn't there. But he did say that these websites and these people that make these articles, they're trolls. And they are. I've seen them. I've seen my name in one where they just flat out lied about what was happening. They just make up stuff. Um, Either that or, they're just very negative. Now, true enough, he had a rough night. Um, but, that happens. But why highlight it and act like his career's over? This is the end. You know, his voice. Now, I've heard his voice before the tour. I've heard him singing with Steve Perry on these, songs like Open Arms and Faithfully. And he's exercising and he's jogging and singing at the same time. And he's hitting the notes. So I know his voice isn't shot. I just think that he had an off night and that he couldn't hear. I mean, obviously he couldn't hear. I mean, you could tell that's what was going on. I mean, I've been in a lot of bands, and I know this. They have computers that are set up to match your mics, the equalizer, and the sound for the guitars, drums, bass, whatever, and the vocals. And if you mess that up, you're in trouble. And if they're using Avenged Sevenfold's, sound and somehow got it mixed up, it's going to throw them off. So I totally understand. Totally understand. But Dean Castronovo, let's get to Dean Castronovo there, pictured there. Awesome guy, great singer and drummer, of course. And he had this to say about everything that happened. Let's check it out. He says, I don't do social media much, if at all, anymore. My social media manager, Karen, I like Karen. She runs my sites and posts for me, so I miss a lot unless it's brought to my attention. Arnel has risen to the challenge of Journey's catalog night after night, year after tiring year. He gives to you all and Journey the best that he can give you. Out of maybe a handful of shows in 17 years, Arnel has faced the facts. The voice is a biological instrument subject to weather, fatigue, virus, bacteria, jet lag, etc. Sometimes it does not, cannot, or will not cooperate when needed. So what's the point of hammering a human being over something they have no control over? That is a great point, Dean. It's like if a baseball player hurts his leg and he can't perform. That's just, your voice is like that. You can't do it. You can't make fun of a guy when that happens. You're like, hey, it's shot. Your voice is shot. It happens sometimes. It don't mean forever. And like I said in the cases, the sound had a lot to do with it. But let's continue. He says, to the trolls, you are the blessed many. the ones who can armchair sing and trash the few that do what he does every night. They do not have that luxury. They must bring it each and every night or face you and your overinflated opinions. If you can do better, then do it. Preach it, Deeno. Yes, I know very few who can pull off what Arnel does without ego and with passion and grace. Back off, trolls. You are messing with my family now. And I am a rabid protector of my own. This is America, where everyone and anyone can voice their opinion. Consider this, though. When you do it, is it kind? Is it truth? Is it necessary? We've all seen the meme, and it rings true here as it does anywhere it's posted. To the people who get it, thank you. We appreciate you. To the inept, prove it and walk it or shut it. That's right, Deeno. Man, that's good stuff. And he speaks the truth. I mean, so many people get online. You can't see them. You don't know who they are a lot of times. And they spew all this hatred, because of jealousy or just stupidity or whatever. Or they do videos about how Arnel needs to retire because his voice is no good anymore. But if they had been paying attention, his voice has been great. He has some off moments because just like Deeno said, your voice is like an instrument. Let's say you were playing guitar, but you took that guitar and beat it up against the wall every night. And then you tried to play it. See if you can play that smooth sounding guitar like Clapton then. It's not going to happen. And that's what's happening to Arnel. But there's people throwing him under the bus. Time to retire, Arnel. And it's not cool, to me. And especially if you call yourself a fan. It's not cool. But way to go, Deeno and Neil and everybody taking up for him, because he's a very humble guy, and he takes it to heart. He takes, when people talk about his voice, because he wants to do the best job he can. You can't do great every night, and there's issues there. Was it the sound? I think a lot of it was. Was it his voice kind of worn out? Maybe so. After the tour, it happens. It's that instrument that gives out, and it does it sometimes at the most inopportune times. But that don't mean he's not going to sound great again. And I'm looking forward to it. I think he's going to do great. I think they're going to Japan coming up soon. So we'll see what happens. And I think you will see that he is still going to be strong vocally and just as a person. He's not going to stop believing. I promise you. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Don't stop believing. God bless you.